The other question I often get asked is, Lou, tell me which school will give more money, which school give more than, other school. I really definitely want to, apply for the school that offers more financial aid. So the rule of thumbs are, if you are applying to public university, please apply in-state public school, not out-of-state public school. What does that mean? Very simple example. If you're a California student, we have the best public school UC system, right? Cal State system. You apply UC. Don't go apply University of Michigan, University of Washington. They are the out-of-state public school. Let's say that your UC schools can offer you a free, full financial aid award. But if you go to out of state, you are probably only going to get the federal grant, nothing else, because you're not going to qualify to get the state grant. And you will not, I repeat, you will not get any institutional grant or scholarship. Many years ago, when I first started this business, I used to help my students to trying to appeal with the out-of-state public school. I would call the financial aid office and I would explain this family really need the money because they don't have money. And the financial aid officer will be very nice to say, we understand. We are so sorry we cannot give you more. We recommend you take your state university instead of our university because we cannot help you. We just don't have a means to help you. So their majority of their, not majority, their most focus is to help their state resident, not out-of-state student financially. So keep that in mind, okay? Number one rule. Number two, if you're applying private universities, the liberal arts school will get less compared to general universities. Liberal arts school is smaller. Many schools are not need blind and they are need aware. And they do take financial aid into consideration. And they're very careful when it comes to reviewing your financial situation. And they are very, very limited to provide to more students with financial aid. If you are very underprivileged, like a low income, then yes, you will get financial aid. But the middle one, the middle class, it's very hard to get financial aid. So that is the rule of thumb. The last one is Ivy League school. The better school that you get accepted, the more money you're going to get. Especially the top school in the US. They really don't mind you are applying for financial aid. They really will support you in any way because they want their student to go to the school without worrying financially. So keep that in mind. And the number one is the most important thing. I don't want a student apply all the schools is out-of-state public school because you are eliminate your possibilities, which is not very smart in a way, okay? The other question also a lot of parents ask is, private more expensive than the public college? I remember, I still have time, I tell you a very touching story that when I first doing this business, I actually met a parent in the parking lot of a supermarket. And she was sharing with me how good her son was like in academically and also leadership. And she told me that her son actually applied for the top UC schools and was accepted by all UC schools. And he was very happy to just go to the UC schools. And I was like, why didn't he apply for private school? And she said, because our financial is so not good and we cannot afford the private school. And I said, oh my God, if your financial is not strong, even more so you want to apply for private school because private school will give you the help just as much as the public school. You probably end up paying the same amount, right? And she started crying and she said, nobody told me that. And I didn't know. He's such a good student and he doesn't even know. He just want to help us to save money. So sometimes I'm always adding this slide to all the parents when it comes to private school and the public school. So I'm using this student as an example. This is my last year student and the client. And there's a California student and his family's FAFSA SAI is $5,000 $8,800. So he happened to get accepted by both the best, no, not the best. He just happened to be accepted by both very popular California public school and the private school. So I'm going to show you guys the classic example of a Southern California student. It's like a dream come true, right? USC and UCLA. So if you look at the total cost, this is the actual financial aid award and the cost, okay? It's from just last year. So the student is going to college this September, next month. So the cost of attendance for USC is $95,675 last year. And UCLA is $42,059. If you look at the price tag, tell me, it is more expensive, right? USC is so expensive. It's $53,616 more expensive than UCLA. But wait, let's see the financial aid. So from USC, this student received the Pell Grant and also received the Cal Grant, which is the state grant. And he also received USC grant, which is $64,278. And the work study student loan. So the total financial aid he received was $84,031. So we take a look at the UCLA financial aid offer. Same Pell Grant, higher Cal Grant, because you do get higher Cal Grant if you attend public school. An additional UCLA grant, and the student loan same, work study same, pretty much $32,311. So the financial aid package he got, $51,720 more than what he received from UCLA. So the net cost to this family, even though you look at the tuition, $70,000 versus $15,000, right? Even though, you know, the total cost is so much higher, this family's end net cost is $11,000 versus $10,000. It's literally just like a $1,896 difference. So if you're the parents, you tell me, is private school really that expensive? Not really, right? It's different, depending on your family financial situation. So I actually made a call to the student and asked what's the decision. Of course, they asked for our advice, right? Like a counselor's advice and a financial aid advice. And my advice is absolutely USC. Just because it's so expensive, you only pay $11,000. So he is going to USC and to be a children this September, right? Very happy. So this is a real financial aid offer that I seen this year. Just happened to be very classic, private versus public. Okay. Right. Take a look at time. I'm still good. Very quickly, and this is a UC Davis cost of attendance list. And I just want to point out that when you read the COA, it's very important to separate what's going to be billed versus not going to be billed. So what will be billed, it's always your tuition, your room and board, and your fees. What's not going to be billed, it's additional cost, is your book and the supplies and your transportation and your personal expense. So it's important to understand that, even though the COA is a total amount is almost 45,000, but then you're only going to be billed for 40,000. And when you read the financial aid offer, this is also UC Davis, very important that you separate the gift offer and the loan offer. So the gift offer is free money. The loan offer, you have to pay back. So that helps you when you get multiple offers. You kind of have a list. What's the gift offer? Compare them. What's the loan offer, right? Because if you get a lot of loans, it's really not a best financial aid because you have to pay back. So this is just the two things I really want to highlight. And when we talk about grant, we want to talk about Pell Grant, which is a federal grant. This year, 2024 and 25, the maximum that you can receive is $7,395 a year. And the Cal Grant, the maximum that you can get is 13,752. Now, do pay attention that each different category, your Cal Grant will be different. So like a USC is considered a private nonprofit university. So the maximum is 9,358, but UC is 13,752. Texas has their own grant. It's a lot less. New York, state of New York has their own state grant. And in addition to the federal, the state, and you also have the university grant. So Cal Grant, I'm going to go through this really quickly. I hope this year this is fixed, because last year was the first year I had to remind all my students to go into this Cal Grant website to check their eligibility. Prior years, we don't have to do that. It automatically flows in from FAFSA. And the data gets transmitted in, and everything is, perfect, right? Maybe one or two exception. But this year, I make sure everybody go to the website, sign up, and check their eligibility, and make sure the money is there. If they qualify. So it's very important. This year, I don't know yet. Hopefully they get this fixed, then we don't have to worry about that. And Cal Grant, the income threshold is a little bit higher. If you look at it, if you're a family of 4, the income the maximum income is 131,000. So if anybody is less than that, you will get some sort of Cal Grant. And if you don't get the Cal Grant, your income is like a little bit higher than that, then you have a middle class. I think it's called, gosh, I forgot. It's middle class like a scholarship. So there is a less grant, but kind of like help the middle class a little bit. And this is the asset ceilings. And these are all public informations that you can Google it, and then you can just make sure that, to pre-qualify yourself for Cal Grant if you have to. Okay. This is the fun part, because I really like to spend a little bit of time. I don't know how many parents here tonight is the coming senior parents, like 12th grade. Like that means after August, your student gonna be a senior. So if you're that category, you need to pay a lot of attention to my seminar, and that you need to kind of do a lot of study. And I have a to-do list for you too, just to summarize everything. So the first important thing is finish your 2023 tax return. I know that the extension is until October, but please don't finish it so late. You need to finish it no later than September. August is probably your last year to get all the income tax in, because the IRS and the FAFSA is an auto link. If you cannot link your tax, then you cannot finish your FAFSA. Then you cannot get any financial aid. So it's important. If you have business, complete your business income tax as well. And it's the federal tax that you need to pay attention, not the state tax. So it's the 1040. What we are looking for, what the FAFSA and the CSS profile looking for, is line 11, called AGI, Adjusted Gross Income. So it's very important that you finish it and you go check your line 11. What is your AGI? The second thing that you need to really, really start doing is come up with the list of the FAFSA assets. If you don't know what is FAFSA asset, what is non-FAFSA asset, I had done many financial aid seminar with HS2 Academy. So go search the YouTube and you might find that, because the FAFSA asset and the non-FAFSA asset, you pretty much want to have a list and get the balance. What is the balance? Is there any way to shift around? And you still have time, right? College list. Pay attention to the ED and the EA list, because most ED and the EA, the deadline for financial aid is November 15th. Some are November 1st as early. So you don't want to miss those deadlines. I do have students miss the deadline. It's miserable. Financial aid office, sometimes they're just not very forgiving. They are just like asking why are you not doing it within the time frame? So just have a habit, like come up with a school list and kind of check each school, what's the deadline for admission and financial aid. Even though FAFSA is delayed, but you need to get ready. You need to be ready October 1st. You need to get ready. So that is the most important thing for all parents, because you don't want to wait until December. You want to be ready October 1st. That's the date. Everything has to be ready. You need to get your FAFSA ID and password, parent one, and the student one. All these preparation, you need to be ready. Seeking professional consultation and the services, because if you know that you are not able to get this done effectively, you need to ask for help. Just like anything else, right? My CPA asked me for financial aid advice. I ask her for tax advice. If you don't know, it's okay. Just get the consultation first and find out the service if it's suitable to you, okay? The to-do list for 7th grade to the 11th grade parents. Very, very important, the 11th grade parents. Your income will be based on the 2024 tax return. You only have 5 months left, right? Because it's already 2024. It's very important. 10th grade parents, very important. 2025 is your tax return as the income base. If you want to do any financial decisions, like selling your stocks or refinance your homes or anything that you wanted to do, you want to do it in 2024. So your 2025 is well, it's in the best, right, order for the upcoming college financial aid year. I put down the 9th grade, 8th grade, and the 7th grade. And don't think it's, oh my God, it's way too early for us. We don't need to worry about that. No, I have consulted parents with newborn babies. I love to go to preschool and elementary school to do college financial planning. Parents love it because the earlier you plan, the better you have strategy. You have a way of paying for your college. You understand it's important. So don't think, oh, my son is only, my student is only 7th grade. We can wait for 4 years, then we're going to talk to Lou. No, you need to kind of jump in and just get some knowledge first about your family financial. Understand the FAFSA asset is so important. So the asset that you have might not be part of the FAFSA asset. So a lot of time I do a lot of the financial planning for families. And one of the biggest thing is the asset allocation, where your assets are. And that's important. So this is a good time to visit your asset to see if it's allocated, if it's diversified. Those are all important. Family financial planning, best way to pay for the college. Not everybody come to me for college financial aid consultation or parents with not so good financial situation. I mean, I have affluent families, parents make over $500,000 that come to me for consultation because they want to find the best way to save for their children to pay for college. They have the money, but they still wanted to do better. They don't want to make mistakes. So the family financial planning is important if you're 7th, 8th, 9th grade, or if you have multiple children, and I feel for you, it's so important. It's very expensive now, and it's only going to be more expensive. This is sad, but it's the truth. College is always going to be more expensive. And the last one, saving for college. My clients all know I emphasize this so much, and I always ask them, well, what do you think the money is going to come from if you don't save? So saving is very, very important, okay? And this is my last slide. I think the last one. No, I have one more. Yeah, let me see the time. Okay, I'm good. This one, I really want to get your attention because there are some facts. May I have your attention, please? And I can't see everybody, so I hope you're not talking or on the phone. I really want your attention on this slide. Price tag for college education will soon reach $100,000 a year. It has already reached that. It has already reached that. It's going to be the norm for private university that costs $100,000 a year. The cost of private university is average about $90,000 a year. So you times 4 years, per student, it's $360,000. Cost of public university is about $180,000 per student, just bachelor degree. The COA average increase is about, based on the last 30 years, is about 8% year over year. So if your student has 4 years to go to college, 4 times 8 is 32%. You need to use the COA this year times 32%. And that's the cost gonna be for your student, okay? And I often get parents tell me, oh, Lou, I'm not worried about this. I'm just gonna have my student just get the loan. They need to learn how to take care of their own money. I'm sorry, the student loan, maximum student loan any student can get the first year is only $5,500, not anymore. That's the maximum they can get. And that's called the direct, subsidized, and the unsubsidized loan. The interest rate this year means this year going to college, 6.53%. And it's a jump of 1% compared to the prior year. I put the unsubsidized loan for graduate school because parents, when your student go to graduate school, there is no financial aid in the form of grant or in the form of scholarship. Very rare. You might get scholarship merit-based. The only financial aid you're going to get for graduate school is a loan. Okay, and that interest rate is 8.08%, is also 1% more compared to the prior year. Now, talk about Parent Plus loan. That rate has already reached the highest in 30 years, 9.08% versus 8.05%. I don't know how you feel about that. I'm strongly against to get that loan because that's going to put your retirement, that's going to put your next half of your life miserable because this loan interest rate is way too high. Okay, so pay a lot of attention. Those are the facts, and these facts are not going to change. Now, this is really my last slide. I've been working with HS2 Academy for a couple years now, and we love the partnership, and I love the parents and the students and always have very good relationship, and the partnership is very genuine. And I received the most respect and a lot of appreciation from the parents. So I love what I do. For the HS2 parents, I will continue to offer the 45 minutes complimentary Zoom consultations, but I'm only going to be doing this for the month of August and limited for September, because starting October, I'm not going to take any free consultations because I'm going to be focusing on the financial aid applications and helping the clients to provide the best services. So HS2 parents, you also receive very special discount for the financial aid service. And many of you might ask, what kind of financial aid service that you do, right? It's really from A to Z. It's like somebody holding your hands from the beginning to the end, you know, like I would give you the guidance and we will start from the evaluation and the consultation and analysis and the recommendation, and also come up with a strategy that in your favor to gain the financial aid to protect your family asset. Because anything that you pay for school, it's going to come from your asset. It's going to reduce your asset. So my job, being a well-rounded family financial planner, is having this edge to really able to assess your financial situation and to give you a very good strategy that it just not cover only college financial planning, probably cover your retirement and to cover your estate planning, like how do you pass on your wealth, right? And of course, the most important thing is probably assist you with the FAFSA and the CSS profile. And it's going to be 100% reviewed and the guidance and no error. And this is so important because sometimes we have families with very good potential of receiving a lot of financial aid, but because they make silly mistakes and they miss the opportunity. It's never good. And I will help parents to review, and many parents come to me with their financial aid award packages from multiple schools. And this is my happy time. I like to review them and to tell them the pros and cons, which financial aid award package is the best for their family. And the last but not least, if I see there is a room for getting more, I would definitely provide the guidance of appeals. And that way, you know, the students can learn how to negotiate. And a lot of time I like to get the students involved if they like to learn. And I still keep good in touch with few students that they gained and they learned the knowledge and they appreciate. They said they learned so much from this whole financial aid application. So this is the service. And I think that concludes my presentation today, which is 5 minutes left. And I see there is only one question. I'm gonna answer that question. So the question is, does FAFSA count parent income wages, including the 401k per tax deduction? In the FAFSA form, it does not ask specifically about your 401k, but it's auto-link. So if it's part of your tax return, and then whoever the reviewer is, you know, the professional, financial aid professionals, they're gonna review that. It's a good question, but I'm not 100% clear what do you mean by that. For CSS profile, when you do the private universities financial aid applications, yes, you need to, they will ask you what is your retirement and how much funding that you have, but it doesn't mean the retirement is count as your asset or income, because retirement has a very clear goal. It's for your retirement. Everybody knows the retirement income, the retirement funds, the minimum withdrawal age is 60 years old. So if you are not 60 yet, nobody should expect you to take money out of your retirement account. Be very, very clear about that. Your retirement account is safe. It's for retirement purpose. And don't feel bad you have a lot of money in retirement account, because you're doing a good job and they will not hold this against you. For class of 20, is it too late to adjust asset list, reduce asset? Depending on where your assets are. If your assets are in investment homes, it's impossible to adjust because it's way too late, right? But if your assets are in cash flow or in investment portfolios, we can talk about it, because you still have 2 months, August, September, October, 3-4 months. It's still possibilities. Every family is very different. You really want to also wait in. If you do this, what are you going to get? If you don't do this, what you're not going to get? You know, it's kind of important, right? Yeah.